My name is Stephanie Hurst, and I am a partner in the Corporate and Securities Group at Mayer Brown. Today, my colleague Anthony and I will be discussing a type of startup financing known as SAFEs, or Simple Agreements for Future Equity, which are popularized by the startup accelerator Y Combinator. Startup companies often contend with what investment instrument is most appropriate for them, including given where they are in their life cycle. For companies that are in the pre-seed stage, the two most popular investment instruments are SAFEs and convertible notes. SAFEs generally are seen as preferred over convertible notes, especially where an early stage company may have concerns that it won't be able to secure an equity financing or cash to repay the notes before their maturity date. While there are some similarities between convertible notes and SAFEs, the two key differences are that SAFEs, unlike convertible notes, do not have a maturity date or provide an interest rate. I'll now turn it over to my colleague, Anthony, who will provide a brief overview of what SAFEs are.
Hi, I'm Anthony Felix, an associate in the Corporate and Securities Practice Group at Mayer Brown. SAFEs are an early-stage investment instrument designed to streamline the investment process and reduce complexity associated with traditional equity financing, which can save founders and investors time and money. SAFEs are not equity or debt, but are essentially just a contractual arrangement pursuant to which investors provide money to a company for the right to receive preferred equity in the company and its subsequent financing. Unlike a Series C financing, an investor in a SAFE does not receive shares of the company immediately after making its investment. When SAFEs convert into preferred stock is usually tied to certain trigger events, which could be a future financing rounds, a liquidity event such as a change of control, initial public offering, or other public listing of the company's stock, or a dissolution event. Generally speaking, there are two different types of SAFEs: post-money valuation SAFEs and pre-money valuation SAFEs. The key difference between these types of SAFEs is whether or not the equity conversion calculation includes the conversion of the SAFE. In post-money SAFEs, the equity conversion calculation will include the SAFE, and in pre-money SAFEs, the equity conversion calculation will not include the SAFE. A post-money SAFE is generally considered to be more investor-friendly because they provide for a fixed ownership percentage, thereby giving investors a better idea of what their ownership percentage will be upon conversion of their SAFEs. Pre-money SAFEs, on the other hand, are generally considered to be more founder-friendly, as investors will need to wait until a future funding round occurs to know their exact ownership percentage in the company. Stephanie will now touch on some of the pros and cons of the SAFE investment vehicle.
Thanks, Anthony. While one could do a more detailed discussion on the pros and cons of SAFEs in any given context, one of the often cited benefits of SAFEs is that the documentation is generally standardized and simplified with fewer terms to negotiate, which may lead to quicker execution and receipt of funds at a lower legal cost. That said, while companies can get access to cash quicker in the SAFE context, investors often have fewer protections, and companies may find it difficult to find investors willing to accept the risk of a SAFE investment vehicle. However, if an investor is willing to take the risk, they may be able to obtain a more significant upside on conversion if the company does well. Finally, one of the key drawbacks of SAFEs is that they could lead to unintended overdilution or have an uncertain dilutive effect, which may be as a result, for example, of a SAFE's valuation cap. A full discussion of the pros and cons of SAFEs is beyond the scope of this discussion, and it will be important to obtain proper advice when considering a SAFE investment. I will now turn it over to Anthony for some concluding remarks.
SAFEs are a streamlined investment instrument that offer the benefits of simplicity and flexibility for both companies and investors. However, SAFEs also come with their share of challenges and potential drawbacks. Non-US investors should be particularly cautious about navigating regulatory and tax-related issues that may be associated with SAFEs. It's crucial for both startups and investors to carefully evaluate whether SAFEs align with their goals and risk tolerance before opting for this form of financing. For more topics, talks, and other helpful references for early stage and private companies, visit Mayer Brown's resource portal, Springboard.